Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey everybody, I hope that you are doing well today or tonight, whenever and wherever you are. When you're hearing this, I hope that you're able to separate out your emotions from everyone else's emotions, especially if you are an empath, because us empaths, we take on everything from everyone. Whether they ask for it or not, we pull in to us like a magnet everyone's negative emotions, their sadness. Sometimes we take on other people's physical pain. We take on people's stuff. I mean, we're empaths, and a lot of us want to jump into the fray sometimes and stop a fight, and then we get into other people's drama. So I'm hoping that whenever and wherever you are when you're listening to this, that you are able to step away. Just let it go, put it down, step away from the drama, step away from other people's crap. It's time to let them own it. Let other people own their own stuff. Only own your own. You don't need to take on other people's, and you don't need to own it, if that's you. And if you're not an empath and you're a drama creator, it's time for you to own your own shit. Straight up. It's time for you to stop pushing it on to the sweet, quiet, introverted empaths that are just taking in too much painful emotion right now. It's time for you to just drop it and let it go. Stop the drama. Don't be a drama papa. Don't be a drama mama. Just stop all of it. We don't need it. No one needs this anymore. That line of thinking and being and way of existing in the world is so 3D. It's over. That's so 3D. I'm starting that. It's like, that's so yesterday. That's so last year. That's so 3D. From Ecuador, I'm going to start the next Valley Girls Speak, okay? We don't need it. We don't need it anymore. There's just so much drama in the world. And there's so much drama that's like on frickin' going. There's so much. It's too much, to be honest. You know, just, I don't know. I'm about to tell you guys something that's kind of making me mad, but, I got to do a little math equation here. I got to figure out this year because I don't want to say it wrong. 72. Holy crap. For 72 years and 7 days today is when the partition started in India. If you don't know what partition of India is, okay, so Britain, being a teeny tiny freaking know-nothing nation in the middle of nowhere, a little tiny island off the coast of the rest of Europe, you know, the ruling people there decided to go around the world and rule freaking everything. And they started the British Empire from their teeny tiny country, England. And they pretty much along with the Spaniards and the French, and to an extent, a little bit Italy and Portugal, pretty much effed the whole damn world. Ruined lives all over the planet. The partition of India was no different. What happened there is on August 15th, 1947, 72 years and 7 days ago, it wasn't enough for them to take over all of India. They had to make matters worse for the next 72 plus years. Maybe the next 150, 300 years. Who the hell knows how long this drama is going to be going on. But what's happening right now is a direct result of the monarchy in Britain. So the British ruled India, and they decided out of nowhere to create two separate countries based on people's religion. Can you imagine? Like, if you went to LA and said, okay, all of this is LA County, now we're going to separate it into different states inside of California based on religion, you're going to get like, I don't know, 100, 200, 5,000 different states. There's so many different religions on one street. Pick any street in the suburb of LA. You're gonna find people that are Muslim, Jewish, Pakistani. Not Pakistani. Indian, like Hindu. You're gonna find people from all over. And there's like 250,000 plus different kinds of Christianity. I mean, it's madness that they did this. They ignored the fact that Christians even existed in India. I'm sure there were, one or two, maybe 1 or 2 million, 1 or 2,000. I don't know. But I know that there's got to have been some Christians in the fray, right? But they went ahead and they separated it between people that were Hindu and people that were Muslim. And they basically, what it was, it's like they created Pakistan and made it like a big concentration camp for Muslims. And that's not good. It's not a good thing at all. Because before the partition happened, everybody accepted, loved, and respected each other. But then when they created a separation, and we all know from living in the 3D world for frickin' forever, separation sucks. It sucks. Whereas a Muslim family might be in the heart of a Hindu family, or a Hindu family might be in the heart of a predominantly Muslim neighborhood, but everybody loved each other, everybody got along, everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, they had to separate out from each other, and it created war, and it created disharmony, and created, basically the deaths of 200,000 people. Up to 2 million people. 14 million people were displaced from their ancestral homes because of this. This is Britain did this crap. 72 years and 1 week ago today. Well, right now, there's a big problem with Kashmir. So what I'm telling you all this about is that we need to pray for Kashmir. Kashmir is a region that is in the Himalaya mountains in between India and Pakistan. They are coveted for their resources. China is trying to get in there and steal the region. Pakistan is claiming it because it's predominantly people that follow Islam, which makes sense, right? But India wants the region because they are responsible in Kashmir there's a bunch of glaciers, and as they're melting and they're racing down the mountains, they're capturing electricity with this action in Kashmir, in the region of Kashmir. So India wants this region because 8 billion people are supplied with electricity from the glacier water runoff and the hydroelectric power plants that are capturing the kinetic energy that provides the electricity for all of frickin' India. So India wants it because that's their power supply. Pakistan wants it for religious reasons, and China wants it because the area is rich in uranium, and they want to create bombs to bully the rest of the damn planet. So this puts the people who live in the mountain region of Kashmir, who are peace-loving people, they just have been living there forever, for literally in their ancestral homes. Well, now there's shelling, there's bombing, people are dying that didn't deserve it. They didn't do anything. They're not even in the military. They're just like bombing random people's houses. India is. Now, I don't want to say this word. The FT that President Trump is actually saying he's going to go in there and help India against the Muslim state. So you can just about imagine, how this is going to go over. If it wasn't for Britain doing the 72 years and 1 week ago, none of this would have been a frickin' issue. It all would have been India. They all would have loved each other. They all would have gotten along, and everything would have been fine. Now, the Muslims know, and I know because I am a Muslim, is that you can never just start a fight. You can never start a war. That goes against the religion, okay? But when someone comes to you and they start to come after you in a means to hurt you or your family, you have a right to fight back. That's the only way under Islamic religion that you can kill somebody, is if they're in your house trying to kill your family, then you can. Otherwise, it's a very peaceful religion, but it's not a lay down and take it religion, right? So, I'm not saying all this because I am Muslim, because I just think the whole thing is dumb. I love Hindus, I love Christians, I love Jews, I love Muslims, I love atheists, I love everybody, right? So for me, this isn't a religion thing. When I tell you guys, I just want you to pray for Kashmir, for the people of that region, regardless of their religion, because some of them are Hindu, some of them are Christian, some of them are Sikh, most of them are Muslim, but there's other religions mixed in. There's probably people who don't even believe in God and don't care. There's probably Buddhists there. It doesn't matter who's there, but I'm asking, please pray for these people, because right now, China's trying to close in. They said if India stops pushing, they'll stop pushing, and then the place will just kind of be still kind of where it is. But it's like a mushy border. There's not really, during the partition, no one said who owns what. And that's what the problem is. 72 years ago, they could have settled this future war that is now brewing. And the thing is, I think that they should just continue to get the electricity and whatever, and supplied with fresh water until it all runs off. And, probably that area will catch fire too soon and melt all the glaciers and no one will have nothing. Probably that's where we're headed with that. If you're going to take a look at the Amazon rainforest that's been burning for 3 weeks, no one said a damn word till 3 days ago about that. And then, the whole frickin' Arctic Circle is on fire. with Greenland and Siberia and parts of Russia, and the whole, like, Greenland is becoming pretty freaking green pretty freaking fast. I mean, like, my oldest son's been looking into this stuff, and he says, the global warming crisis, it's critical. We're at critical levels. And if we don't get a hold of it within 12 years, we are all going to die. Period. Especially the people who stayed stuck in the third dimension. I mean, gone by... The planet's dying. It's already been dying. We already knew this. It's not new information. But right now, the critical thing is that 17 days have gone by in which the Indian soldiers have forced people to stay in their homes, and they have not been allowed to leave their houses, not even to step outside in the sunshine for 17 days right now. My friend from Pakistan, he lives in Mykonos, Greece, and he's been working there for a long time in construction. He and I tossed around the idea of marriage years ago. He's not terribly religious, and he's a very sweet person. But anyway, he told me today he's really worried about these people. He's like, I'm not even in Pakistan, but you know what? I'm so worried about these people. He doesn't know these people. I don't think he knows anyone from the region, to be honest, but because he never lived in the mountains, he lived down in another part of Pakistan. But he said, I'm so worried, like, it's really bad what's happening there. People's homes are being bombed, and they're not allowed to leave their homes. And tomorrow they're going to start stormtrooping through people's homes and pulling them out of their houses and killing them. And that's the Indian government that's promoting this activity. And that's going to be starting tomorrow. And Trump has said he's going to help India. So I don't think Trump should help either side. I think the United Nations should go in there, but the United Nations, they're completely ignoring all of it. They're ignoring all kinds of crap. They're ignoring the fact that Trump is going against international laws by, putting a bunch of people in cages. And then he decided to lift the limit so that instead of people being kept in cages for, say, 2 weeks or 4 weeks, they could keep them there indefinitely for years. I guess until they're all dead, I suppose. That might be the plan. So much needs a change in the planet, and the only way it's going to change is if A, we're aware, B, we pray, and C, we vote. Maybe not in that order, though. The days are numbered of the people who would be in power to put these horrible sanctions upon another. The days are numbered of the people who are, quote unquote, in power or in charge, unquote, of the rest of us. The people that would see most of us as peons that don't mean anything. The days are numbered for those people. The low-level, reptilian-brained people that just believe they're better than everybody else because they were able to create money from paper, from trees. They just mowed down more trees than the rest of us, that's all. Money is stupid. It's the piece of paper that's green or blue or red, depending on where you are in the world. And in some parts of the world, it's just coins. But it doesn't matter. It's just metal. It's just anybody can mow down a tree and make a piece of paper with a pretty fancy drawing on it. And it's stupid that all of this crap comes down to this. It's stupid to me that it's all coming down to it. It's coming down to pieces of paper and religion. I mean, it's like when two sides of a fight are fighting for their right to love God the way they want to. I'm sorry, but that's just freaking stupid. Do you think that God wants you to fight over that? That's so dumb, right? It's not, this one's not really a religious thing though. It's just religion enters into it, but it's not over religion. It's over the controlling of the resources of the region. That's the big part of it. But it's just been a subject of dispute since 1947 between India and Pakistan, and then China thinks they could get their little mark into it because before the partition, it was India. But after the partition, it was never decided. If it became its own independent country, then maybe, but then they would still be at war. They wouldn't have the resources. They have the third highest life expectancy rate, 72.6 years among all the Indian states. People live, like when there's not the war going on there, people live very well. They're healthy. It's beautiful. I don't know if you guys could see, have you ever seen a picture of this? I don't know, but it's the Himalaya Mountains. It's gorgeous. It's a lot of snow and these crispy white peaks, and it's just absolutely beautiful. The official language there is Urdu, which was the language that Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, he sang in that language, and I went to many concerts in Los Angeles. He traveled the world. And he was from Pakistan, and I didn't know anything about really his culture, where he came from. I didn't know his religion. I didn't know anything, but I would go, I didn't know what he was saying. And I used to go to his concerts, and the energy was so high vibration of his music. So I highly recommend, if you guys want to go listen to some really cool world beat music, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. And he was really, he was a high vibrational person. I think he might have been a spiritual master, because I met him at the House of Blues in LA. And he shook my hand, and he didn't speak much English, but he looked at me into my eyes and he said, "God bless you." And when he did, I felt what I can only describe as like the Holy Spirit or an energy of God came over me. And it made me cry and made me humble. I couldn't even speak after that for a while. I loved that man so much. Like, he was like a brother, like a long lost brother. I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to go more into it, but he's from Pakistan, and his family, his cousin Rahat Fateh Ali Khan has taken over, and he does his tours, he sings all over the world now, but he's not as good. He's good, but he's not incredibly transcendent like Nusrat was. So anyway, I feel very sorry for the people there. So I'm bringing all this Kashmir stuff up because it's going to be in the news a lot more. Now you're going to understand it a little bit more. But just please pray. I'm going to pray, and we should just keep sending love and light to the people there and protection. Just ask whatever form of God you pray to for protection. Send angels to protect the people there, because they don't deserve the treatment they're getting from the Indian government right now. They don't need to be in a conflictual place, and it's because of Britain that put them there. Anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on this. I've already gone on and on about it way too much, but And my friend called me and he's like, why don't you talk about Kashmir on your show? And I'm like, well, what about it? It's not a travel show. And then he told me and I was like, oh my God, that's right. I do have one friend who lives in Kashmir right now and he's terrified. He told me this a couple weeks ago and I need to go write to him on Facebook and ask him what's happening. He lives with his mom and his dad and he's like scared. He said, I don't know what we're going to do. He's like, I'm hoping that India backs down and China will back down and then, maybe Pakistan will just let it go. And I prayed about it. And a few days later, I noticed that it kind of looked like everyone was backing down. So I was like, okay. And I forgot about it. And I didn't realize that the region, the problems there had heated up again. And now I got to go find my friend and make sure he's still alive and that his parents are okay. He's like one of the sweetest, most amazing people. He's always super, super positive, and he's always sending me happy emojis and heart emojis and balloon emojis and kitty cats. And he always finds the most beautiful videos to put up because he said he wants to bring love and joy and positive energy into the world. And so that's his message he spreads every single day of his life. He's putting up super positive videos on Facebook because he wants people to be happy all over the world. And that's a lot of the people in that area are like that. They're just very sweet, very loving people, and they're very positive, and I just feel like we just need to pray for the people there. Regardless of your religion or whatever, it has nothing to do with religion. They just deserve to live in peace and harmony like the rest of us, right? We all deserve that. Anyway, we are at 96 on the Ascension Symptom Scale today. I've been trying to separate out what is my stuff and what is the stuff from just the rest of the world, what's coming at me from everywhere. I've been all day kind of struggling with this. I felt the heaviness of the energy still from our purple Eeyore cloud that I've named it, the energy from the supernova. But today for about an hour, I didn't see them, but I felt the presence of the Light Brigade, the Arcturians. They're still in the 9th dimension, and they're trying to drop down to the 7th dimension so that we can, if we raise up our vibe enough, we're going to be able to see them so we know they're there. But I did notice the sky suddenly got very bright, and all the purpley energy I've been seeing and the pinkish energy I've been seeing and the dark cobalt blue energy was lifted to an extent, and all I saw was golden and white light for a while. And I feel like tomorrow will be more so of that. I think we're going to get more and more high quality energy beaming towards us from the Arcturians, maybe the Pleiadians and all the other groups that are helping us from off world, because we need it. We need that love and light. If you could muster it in yourself, if you could bring it up in yourself and put this out to the world, it will help a great deal. We really, really need it. I've been sad all day, been on the verge of tears all day. I've been crying. I was crying, and then I kept wiping the tears from my eyes, and I didn't want my kid to know. And I thought, well, I'll just put some makeup on, maybe everything be covered up. And we get to next door. I needed to break a 20 so I'd have money for the taxi to go to the mall. Because my son's going to start dance school in September. So we wanted to go check out the prices. And so we're like, all right, so we went over there but I think $70 is way too much for 3 hours a week. What do you guys think? That's way too much, right? There's a lot of schools that charge way much, and it's not just because we're white either. Sometimes it is, though. They know we're Americans, and they go, yeah, and then they try to get away with something. But I felt like this school's just overpriced. If it was 5 days a week and it was 3 hours per day, I think that would definitely be worth $100 a month. But 3 hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that's really for $70? That's like 3, 6, 9, 12 hours. Well, maybe it is actually $10 a class. So maybe it is a good deal. It just sounded like a lot, but it's okay. I told my kid no matter what, I'll pay for it because he wants to learn how to dance, and I don't think I should stand in the way of his dream. And plus, I spent hundreds of dollars on my oldest to take ballet lessons when she was a teeny tiny little girl, and she was adorable as all get out. I mean, somewhere on earth there's a couple little videos of her running around dressed like a butterfly on stage and her teacher chasing her and couldn't get her off stage. I told her that. She says, why are all these people here to see me dance? I don't understand why. It should just be the parents. And I'm like, well, because when they see little ballerinas performing, it makes them happy in their hearts. And you're supposed to be here to bring joy and positive and life-affirming energy to people with your dance performance tonight. And she says, okay. So her teacher couldn't get her off stage, and she kept flying around and screaming and laughing and flapping her wings. And then she had wings on her back, which are also flapping. It was so freaking hilarious and so cute. And she was all of 2 years old. And, and now he is my grown-up adult transgender son. And I'm sure this is like a super weird and happy memory for him, but also very, very weird. It's a very weird memory. But so I feel like I kind of owe this to my youngest son now to pay for dance lessons for him. If his brother had dance lessons for 2 years, it's okay if I give him dance lessons for 2 years too, as an adult. But he's going to be learning salsa, merengue, 2 or 3 other regional dances, as well as hip hop. So he's like, this is really freaking cool, and I'm excited. So, and it's like 6 blocks from here, so he can just take his motorcycle down there. But, anyway, let's see here. What else? Okay, so Schumann Resonance tonight, disclosurenews.it. They say, in the evening report, even today a sort of continuous but scattered activity shortly after midnight on the chart, 17 UTC time. There were variations in amplitude dependencies of a Schumann resonance frequency of 24 hertz. This is for purists who say that the amplitude does not express in hertz. Yeah, thank you. I've been looking at the ongoing debate on this page. It's crazy. I don't even understand the debate between amplitude and hertz. But anyway, it says a further peak, 34 hertz, occurred at 12:30 UTC time and marks the beginning of a minor activity that seems to have ended at 17. All right, so at least in Italy, the biggest news of the day, 34 hertz. So now we're going to go over to the Heart Math Institute, see what they have to say for themselves. All right, August 22nd. California started at midnight at 120 hertz, and by 4 a.m. they were at 129 hertz frequency. Again, this is a Schumann resonance, just so you know. Oh gosh, I have these memorized. Why don't I have them memorized suddenly? Oh yeah, in Hofuf. In the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in Hofuf, they started off at 98 hertz frequency on the Schumann resonance scale at midnight, and then by 4 a.m. they were at 95. Lithuania started off at 190 at midnight, and by 4 a.m. Why did this move? All right, darn it. And at 4 a.m. in Lithuania, they were at 188. That's pretty high still, hertz frequency. But of course, Canada is always a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. In Canada, we have 274 hertz frequency at midnight. and 287 at 4 a.m. And Northland, New Zealand started off at 14 hertz frequency at midnight and went all the way down to 0 by 4 a.m. And Hulului, South Africa, they've just been literally at 0 since 9 o'clock last night, all the way through 4 in the morning this morning. Just a straight flat line. It's the weirdest thing. I don't understand. And what's weird is on August 20th, they were at 166 at 10 a.m. And then they went down literally right at, let's see, they hit 0 at 9 o'clock in the morning. 9 o'clock in the morning on the 21st of August. And they've been just flatlined all the way across to 0, straight across. The only one that did that. Why? I have no freaking clue. And honestly, it's like your guess is as good as mine as to what this truly means. But I know it's significant scientifically. You know, when the whole world has been 7.83 hertz consistently, and then all of a sudden we enter, I think we're is it called the Van Allen belt? There's a lot more crap flying by the planet every month. There's, you know, a chunk of rock the size of this building or the size of that landmark that almost killed us. Oops. Oh God. We were so scared. Didn't want to mention it to anyone. You know, we keep getting these reports over and over and over and over again. Not to mention the asteroids that have like blown up over the Caspian Sea and some other place. Was it Siberia? You know, it's like constantly with the flybys of the giant rocks, meteors, asteroids, whatever, bolides, whatever. You know, now half of the freaking planet's on fire and the other half is at war. I don't know. Today, I just can't even, you know? You know, and plus the weird drama going on in my life, you know, I just feel like, I don't know, my best friend, God bless her, she's still alive, but unable to speak. And then my other, you know, it's just my fault. You just should never have a long distance relationship, never wait for anybody. And that was my fault. Well, for trusting him when he said he was going to wait for me. And then he would be down this month. I expected him to come here this week, and he just put up a second picture of him and his new girl. Yay. Yay. I cannot muster up enough happiness for him to give a real yay. I mean, seriously, I feel like I want to write to this guy and say, you know, the words you're looking for are, I'm sorry I misled you, Elena. I never cared for you. All the times I said I did, it was just a big fat lie. So I'm sorry that you took it the wrong way. That I said the right words and you took it the wrong way. Or maybe, I'm sorry I wasted your time. Or, you know, something along those lines. You know, an apology of sorts is what I believe I'm owed here in that situation. And the fact that he's ignoring that, the fact that I've given him hints that he needs to apologize to me, at bare minimum, you know? And what really burns more than the relationship thing, because, okay, I get it. We're in 2 different countries. We're side by side. You're like 4 hours away by plane, but whatever. It's not even that much money to come here. It's only $200, and the guy is a workaholic and owns 2 businesses besides his full-time job, but whatever. What really burns me the most is that he was the highest quality translator from English to Spanish, Spanish to English, and he gets me. And I have so many books in addition to 250 episodes of Metaphysical Soul Speak that I wanted him to translate for me so that we could publish this in Spanish throughout South America. And I was going to give him 50% of the money. He was going to be rich. And instead, he just It's like how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, you hide things from me and you lie to me and you lead me on. And then when something great like falling in love happens, he could have told me when it happened, hey, I met someone. I don't want to mislead you, so I'm telling you in advance. I went on a date with someone, didn't think anything would come of it, but I have feelings for her already. That would have been something. But, you know, I don't know. The whole thing is irritating to me. And now I just feel like, frick, now I got to find another translator who I will not be romantically involved with, because obviously if it goes south, then there goes my translator. And that was my fault as well. And I know better, and I know better. But anyway, that's my personal drama. But I think, and I've been really like angry about these things, but I feel like these two main issues in my life right now. But the more I thought about it today, the more I realized I'm not really angry about them. Not really. I'm angry about some other stuff. There's other energies around, and then I realized it's not me. It's all of the heaviness that was laid on us. And I'm taking old, I almost said old-fashioned, old ideas. And those old ideas, those old ideas that I used to think, that I used to thought, they all came back. And I don't think them anymore, so it's confusing. Like my son kept telling me today, you have to believe in yourself. I'm like, I do believe in myself. And he's like, you have to believe in yourself more. And I go, well, none of this has to do with me believing in myself or not. And I realized maybe that's his thing. He didn't believe in himself when he was little. Or he did, and then he got burned a few times. The time he told me, Mom, I have to go immediately. I'm going to make money. I'm going to go play the guitar over at Rite Aid, and I'm going to put out a hat. I'm going to make a lot of money. And I'm going to take us out to dinner. Like, oh my God, you were the sweetest person ever. I will just take us out to dinner. No, I have to do it. All right, fine. The thing is, though, you don't know how to play guitar. You just got it. He's like, oh, that's not going to stop me. And we get there, and he strums a guitar twice, and he goes, yeah, I don't know how the hell to do this. I'm embarrassed. Let's go home. So adorable. He was 6 years old. So cute, right? So cute. And he's like, it's just like in the, we read last week in the Science of Getting Rich, the story of the kid who was frustrated because his fingers wouldn't play the piano. That was my kid with a guitar. Same thing happened. You know, the will to do it is there. You know, but my kid kept telling me all this stuff today, and I'm like, that's not my issue at all. I'm sad because my friend's dying, and I'm mad that I was betrayed. Or at least not given the full truth at the moment that I needed it. All right, but enough of that. We've already gone on like 42 minutes on these things. I heard from someone today who, like, 3.5 years ago, more than 3.5 years ago, he says, he asked me something, and I said I wasn't feeling too good. Like, I think I was coming down with a cold or something. And 3.5 years later, today, he says, what do you have? I'm like, nothing now. I'm fine. It's been 3.5 years. Like, whoa. And I'm like, I don't even remember this person. I'm like, why were we having that conversation? And who are you again? And I went back and I realized this is like my cousin from Kentucky and his wife had gone down here to Ecuador, to Guayaquil, and they were doing some kind of Christian missionary work or something. I'm not totally clear on what happened, but I think they stayed at this guy's house. And because I live in Ecuador, he lives in Ecuador, I have eyes, he has eyes. That means we have a lot in common, I guess. So anyway, my cousin told him to add me on Facebook, and he did. And so, like, today, after 3.5 years, he says, I'd like to meet you. I'm all, really? It took a long time to arrive at that decision. How weird, right? My son was like, what do you even have in common with this guy? I go, I don't know. He housed Christian missionaries. Oh, right. I've never done that. He's Christian. Oh, right. I'm not Christian. What else do we have in common? Oh, we both live in Ecuador, and pretty soon, in a few short 5 years, I'll be an Ecuadorian citizen, just like him. It's like, what? What is happening right now? Why is this random person out of nowhere after 3.5 years in the middle of a conversation stops and then gets back into the conversation, the exact one, 3.5 years later? I mean, what's going to happen? We get together, we fall in love, and despite all our myriad of differences, what's going to happen? I ask him what he wants for dinner, and he says, let me step outside to think about it. And then 4, 5, 6, 10 years later, he comes back and says chicken? Like, what? What? Anyway. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to A Course in Miracles, and then we're going to get to the topic of the evening, which is this: lucid dreaming versus out-of-body experiences. I had a question from my very, very, very good friend, and well, I'm going to tell you all about it when we get back. If you're listening to this, you obviously like podcasts, and you probably like music too. Long walks on the beach, romantic dancing under the stars, and oh wait, we're not doing that right now. On Spotify, you can listen to all of that in one place for free, and you don't even need a premium account, which is cool. Free is always good. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, including your long romantic walks on the beach. Also, one thing I love about Spotify is that you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends via Spotify's integrations with the social platforms like Instagram. So that makes it really, really versatile. Just search for Metaphysical Soul Speak on the Spotify app or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. And follow me, of course, don't forget, so that you'll never again miss an episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak. Spotify is the world's leading music streaming service, and now it can be your go-to for podcasts too. Thank you guys so much for supporting Metaphysical Soul Speak on Spotify. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you. All right, guys. So we are on lesson 74 in A Course in Miracles. As you know, I just go through just the basic idea for the lesson. If you want to really, truly get into the material, you're going to have to go online or use an app. There's many, many free ones. The only way that A Course in Miracles is not free is if you go buy the books. And they can usually be found in used bookstores. But I mean, I bought mine for I think $60 for the 3 books. You have the the basic book, the workbook, and the teacher's manual. So after you've gone through everything, you go through the teacher's manual and you could teach classes, which I have not yet done, but I'm just going over the basic lessons of it. I'm just doing it because it's interesting and it keeps me on track. It keeps me on track with the current ascension process and helps get my mind and my head straight. Especially after some of the crazy crap that's been going on. A lot of people have been what I call falling to the wayside. They are spiritual light workers, spiritual warriors. They're doing it. Everything's going good. They've got their YouTube channels or whatever going and everything's perfect. And then one day they just lose it completely. And then they start talking weird. Like talking about how the beings and the alien races from the 7th and the 9th and the 12th and the 14th dimension, they're coming raining down their hell on us and changing our lives and our minds and what the hell are they talking about? None of this crap is true. It's crap. Well, I know I heard this, but what I think is, yes, that's the problem. What you think is. When you start using your imagination and you're lacking in discrimination towards what is real and imaginary, Dougal, that's when you lose your crap. But you have to understand that the world of duality, us versus them, in versus out, up versus down, all the laws of opposites is in the third dimensional worlds. That's where you get your polarity and your polarization and your oppositions and the push me's and the pull you's, the hims and the hers and the men versus the women and the conservative versus the liberal and all of the stuff versus the stuff. It's all the stuff versus the stuff. All the opposites. That's in the third dimensional world. Now, in the fifth dimensional world, this is the law of one. So anything above the law of one can't be oppositional by nature, by the very laws of the actual universe. There's my long-ass explanation as to why we are doing A Course in Miracles, because it keeps me on track and it's a high vibration, especially after some of the stuff we've been discussing in the first half, because some of it's upsetting, it's confusing and upsetting, a lot of the things that are going on still. So in order for us to get right, we have to have correct thoughts. In order for us to have correct thoughts, we have to turn to things that we trust, that we know for a fact are correct thoughts. And for me, at least, I know that the A Course in Miracles is a correct thought. So lesson 74 is very short and simple, but very profound. There is no will but God's. There is no will but God's. So later on in the lesson it says, there is no will but God's. I cannot be in conflict. I am at peace. Nothing can disturb me. My will is God's. My will and God's are one. God wills peace for His Son. S-O-N. Now, when they say Son in A Course in Miracles, S-O-N, it means everyone who is created by God. You, me, the neighbor down the street, everybody. There's no will but God's. These conflict thoughts are meaningless. There is no will but God's. I share it with Him. My conflicts about blank cannot be real. Fill in the blank. There is no will but God's. I seek His peace today. That's it. There is no will but God's. That is the lesson of the day. If you are blind and it's hard for you to read this, you can go to acim.org and there is a little section that will, you can just play it and they will speak out loud what the lesson is. You can hear me say bits and pieces of the lesson, but if you want the whole thing and you can't see, you have to go to acim.org, and that will help. And if you're deaf, eventually you're going to hear this information in my books. I feel bad. I do have one deaf friend. He cannot wait to hear all my info, so that's something I need to get working on really quick. I know I need to get cracking on that as soon as possible. So, all right, we're going to talk now about out-of-body experience versus lucid dreaming. So the first thing we're going to talk about is lucid dreaming, all right? I'm writing this in just so I could look up some stuff and see if there's any definitions. So if you dream a normal dream, your normal dream is just a dream, right? And then sometimes we have the spiritual dreams, and the spiritual dreams might be prophecy for you or prophetic dreams. Sometimes you are given messages from your angels. Sometimes you're given messages from God or, other spirits. Sometimes it's your ancestors. For me, it's usually like buffalo. I have buffaloes come and speak with me. I've had whales and dolphins come and give me information, as well as Buffalo Calf Woman, God bless her. The spirit of Buffalo Calf Woman came to me. That's from the Plains tribes, Native Americans. And she came and gave me a message one time. I've had angels take me all over the world and show me what the potential dark future is. I've had angels show me where basically the Antichrist will be. I stood up in front of the Antichrist in one of my dreams, but for me that was a spiritual dream. It wasn't lucid, because when I woke up I realized it was a dream. So even though you have some dreams that are very, very, very intense, and you're like, oh my God, and especially this week, you guys, have you not been having really strange and powerfully intense dreams? I mean, I know I have for sure. I've been having really intense dreams, and my sleep has been more sound and deeper than it has in months. I mean, my head hits the pillow, I'm asleep within 5 minutes, and I'll lay in the same position for 8 hours. And I usually toss and turn and get up every couple hours. And not lately, this past week, even though with this heavy energy, I've been having a heavy sleep. And my dreams have been very vivid and very crazy, like real. And then I wake up and it's like, what, where am I? I was just there, now I'm here, like I've been in another world. But that's still not lucid dreaming. And even if you dream and you go to another planet, that's still not lucid dreaming. Or you go to another plane of existence or another timeline, that's not what lucid dreaming is. Lucid dreaming is when you are aware inside of your dream that you're dreaming. It's like pretty crazy when you think about that, right? Because usually when you're in a dream, you think it's real. You're running in quicksand and you're getting buried and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And then you wake up right before you die and you're like, oh, that was dumb. That was a dream. But what if you were like, oh, you're running quicksand. Oh my God, I'm going to die unless, oh, wait. Oh, I'm just dreaming right now. This is dumb. I'm going to fly out. I got wings now. Sprout my wings. Let's go. Now you're up. You're out. Because you could do that. You could stop your nightmares when you're lucid dreaming. When you're lucid during a dream. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. When you're lucid, that's the key. Lucidity, being aware. To be lucid is to be aware. So when you are awake, there's a technique I read about in a book years and years ago. And when you're awake, you say 4 or 5 times during the day, say, am I dreaming or not? Am I dreaming or not right now? Am I dreaming right now? You just ask throughout the day, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Is this a dream? Is this a dream right now? And you just ask. Another thing that you can do is gently pinch yourself to know if you're awake or not. Because you're going to feel the pinch, right? You'll feel it and you know you're awake. But what you're going to do is by just asking this question randomly at random times, you can even set up an alarm on your phone that says, am I dreaming or not? Is this a dream or not? Remember, what was that movie, Vanilla Sky? Wake up, wake up. Remember, was it Michael or whatever? Wake up, Michael, wake up, Mark, whatever his name was, with Tom Cruise. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. Excellent movie, really freaking trippy. Don't drop acid and watch this movie. I'm warning you. In fact, don't even smoke weed and watch this movie because it's so mind-bending and boggling that it might mess you up for a while if you smoke weed with it. Don't let your subconscious mind be that open. But if you keep asking yourself throughout the day, am I dreaming or not? Am I awake or not? Am I dreaming or not? Is this a dream? Or pinching yourself. What is going to happen after a few days is while you're dreaming, see, dreams are the language of the subconscious mind. And while you are consciously aware, you have 12% of your brain is engaged, right? While 86% of your brain is your subconscious mind. That it's basically your junk files on your computer. That's what your subconscious mind is, right? So you've got some good stuff in there and you've got some crap in there that never should have been saved in the first place. You know, like when your nasty old aunt said, are you sure you want to eat that cake with the acne on your face? And so now forevermore, you've got in your subconscious mind that eating chocolate cake is the same thing as gaining acne or weight and being ridiculed in public in front of the family, for example. Not a true story from me, but it's just an example that I was given years ago when I went to hypnotherapy school. You know, if you have a nasty old aunt that said something mean to you when you were 7 years old, that's still stuck in your mind and it still affects you. Like I had an aunt that screamed bloody murder when she saw a grasshopper and then the grasshopper flew up and touched her jeans. And she completely flipped out and she started slapping the air in every direction all around her. And she started hopping up and down and she was crying and carrying on. And now I've had a lifelong fear of grasshoppers because that happened in front of me when I was 7. My mind was wide open. I'm in environmental hypnosis all the freaking time. But that's how that got stuck in my subconscious mind because my aunt shocked me and it became like a minor form of post-traumatic stress disorder. And for her too, probably way more for her. She's probably had nightmares about that, you know, but it freaked her out and she freaked everybody out. And my friends were all like, we were all standing there going, oh my God, what? Like, is that poisonous? What happened? What is that thing? You know, we didn't know. No, of course they're not poisonous. They're gentle, sweet little creatures and they hop really far. And they're actually really cool. I'm terrified, scared to death of them because of that incident. It's still stuck in my subconscious mind. So every instant, it's almost like our subconscious minds, if you think of the tarot, they are like the scroll rolled up on the lap of the high priestess. It's our Akashic records. It's the record of everything that ever freaking happened to you, good, bad, or otherwise. You know, when a teacher said, hey, I'm really proud of you. In fact, stand up so the class can see your A+ paper and you can read it to the class and everyone's going to clap for you. You feel so proud of yourself in that moment. That's in your subconscious mind too. So someone says, hey, do you mind reading an essay? No, I don't mind at all. Can't wait to get up there. you expect they're going to clap for you? And that lends itself through the law of attraction to a good thing, right? So lucid dreaming is taking advantage of your subconscious mind. So your conscious mind is all the things you could possibly think of in a day. If your whole mind has 100 things, you can only focus on 12 at once. At the very, very most, in a whole day, that's what you have. 12 various tasks. And you have 86 tasks in your subconscious mind you don't remember until they come up. So how do we access the subconscious mind? Well, through the law of repetition. That's why a lot of times while I'm teaching stuff or while I'm talking or saying whatever, I'll repeat stories that have a lesson. I'll repeat ideas because the law of repetition states that if you hear a thing repetitively over and over again, redundantly, you're going to remember it. Also, if you attach sexual innuendo, you're going to remember it. Or if something makes you laugh, you're going to remember it. You should have been there during my human anatomy classes, and I was teaching people right before the big exams. I used to have huge groups come and see me. And we'd go over the bones. We go over the cranial nerves, we go over the bones, we go over all the anatomy stuff. I used to tutor human anatomy because it fascinated the hell out of me. And also the jokes. I made up so many jokes, dirty jokes, horrible jokes, things I can't say on the air. But the people that stuck with it and stayed with me, even if they're embarrassed by the sexual joking or the laughing, that would make it stick in their mind. So in their subconscious mind. So when they would come up with it on the test in front of them, that question, and they remembered my joke, sometimes they would get in trouble for bursting out loud laughing in class during a test, but those people always got a higher grade. They always got one grade higher than before they came to me. Always, without a doubt. And the people who rejected my method of teaching would be either the same or they would never go up higher. It was like so strange. But so these are the ways you get stuff stuck in your subconscious mind. Repetitiveness, saying the same thing over and over again, or maybe make it sexual-ish or funny-ish. Hey, baby, is this a dream or not? You say it in a cheesy voice and maybe do a weird gesture. You best believe that's getting stuck in your subconscious mind. And that's good because it's going to come back out during your dreams. So when you're dreaming and you go, am I dreaming or not? Hey, baby, am I dreaming or not? What's going to happen is you're going to go, holy crap. You're going to pinch yourself and it's not going to hurt. You go, whoa, this is a dream. Oh, well, since this is a dream and that monster's chasing me, well, screw him. I'm going to chase him. Let's give him a taste of his own medicine. And you start chasing the monsters. If you have monsters in your dream. I've had demons show up in my dream once when I was going through a lucid dreaming, and they said, we're going to do this and that to you, and that's it. And they were demons, but they looked like they were like LA gangsters. They had like Oakland Raider. Was it Oakland Raiders shirt? No. Oh God. It was one of the teams, obviously not Oakland because that's Northern California anyway. But they had like all this like heavy duty like chains and like knives and guns and but I could see that they were demons because their eyes were like red, right? And I was like, you know what I'm going to do for you right now? And they were like, what, pretty little lady? And then they were doing the sexism thing. It was like the epitome of all the negative crap that I've been through my life, right? These demons holding on to that, right? All the negative stuff from my subconscious mind. And I said, I'm going to give you love. You know what? I just feel sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you that you don't have the love that you need in your life. Do you need a hug? Can I give you love? Maybe I could tell you the words of Jesus, or maybe I could quote to you from, all my spiritual books that I have. Can I read to you from Paramahansa Yogananda's teachings? Because he's all about the love. And they were like, God, this blows. Man, I'm out of here. And they left. And I woke up and I started laughing. I'm like, yes, because I knew I was dreaming. And when those guys came at me, I turned them away and I turned the whole situation around. That's one example of what you can do while you are lucid dreaming. So another thing you can do, if you're having nightmares, lucid dreaming is highly recommended because you can defeat those demons. My ex-husband that I was with for 13 years, he had an ongoing nightmare that just scared the crap out of him. He used to run in the desert in Lancaster, California. He was a prison guard there for 7 years, and he bought a house out there, and it's in the middle of the desert. I mean, we're talking sandstorms and frickin' tumbleweeds, But he would go running in the desert. He loved it. He said it was so peaceful and it was so hot during the day. But at night, there was a cool breeze and the heat would rise up from the sand, and it gave him a perfect temperature to run. And he liked the sound of the sand that would be picked up by the bottoms of his shoes and cast to the bushes all around. And it was like a shh. And it was like kind of a satisfying sound. And he would watch the stars, and my God, the stars, there was no light out there. And it was the light pollution was very minimal. And he could see all the stars. And he loved it, and he felt alone, but he felt alone with his thoughts, and he felt alone with God, right? So this was his number one go-to, right? His number two go-to, if he couldn't run, if his back was hurting, would be beer, You come home from a day of working with level 4 inmates. The one thing you want to do is, you want to drink, but if you can, you go running and then maybe come home for a beer, right? So that was his nightly regimen. And so he would do this all the time. So because he was running all the time, it got stuck in his subconscious mind. The running. And what happens when you're running? Well, if you're going to have a fearful dream, someone's chasing you, right? So he started having this ongoing nightmare, especially as he's working with level 4 inmates. You can't be unaffected by that. You are definitely, when you're surrounded by people who have murdered other people day in and day out, not only are there a bunch of crazy negative spirits hanging around, there's a lot of negativity in general. And it was really creepy. I went there with him a couple times to pick up his paycheck. It gave me the creeps to be there. Just to be honest with you, I was like, ugh, I feel like I need a spiritual bath after that. But he was eventually plagued with nightmares where he's being chased, and it took him months before he could get lucid enough in his dreams to turn around and see that he's being chased by someone with a black hoodie, and the black hoodie would come over and shadow his face. And then he got brave in his dream after working on lucid dreams, so powerful that he could finally stop running and turn and look. And then he saw that underneath the hoodie, he moved the hoodie. He was able to grab the hoodie from the guy chasing him. And he had a black mask, like a ski mask without eyes, right? And it took him another few weeks before he's able to rip off the ski mask. My God, you guys, imagine his surprise when the face he saw. Can you guess what it was? Who it was? Was it any of the murderers, the horrible people he worked with? No. Was it his father? No, too cliche. Was it his mom? No way. It was his own face. And then he realized, he woke up from this lucid dream after he was able to pull everything off, and he goes, hey, my enemy is me. Oh my God, I am my worst nightmare. I am my own enemy. I need to stop fighting against myself. That's another thing that lucid dreaming can do for you. You stand up to the bullies. You stand up to your subconscious mind. You stand up to the enemy that is you. Now, another way to use lucid dreaming is, all right, another way to use lucid dreaming, and this one, oh my God, my mother, okay, I'll start with my mom. Okay, my mom, Myrna, my adopted mom, God bless her. Myrna means beloved, and my God, everyone loved her. Everybody that met my mom loved her. Except when she's a little bit off her rocker because of some meds for about 2 or 3 months of her life, and that was like her whole life. You know, of her whole life, there was maybe 2, 3, 4 months people didn't like her. And it was only because she went a little crazy on the meds she was given. And then they readjusted her dosage and everything was fine. You know, her blood sugar's back to normal. She was fine. God bless her. But my mom told me once something that she noticed about her dreams. And I've never in any book ever come across this information. It might be out there, but I never found it anywhere. But when my mom told me this, and then I started observing it, and I noticed it too. When your life on a day-to-day basis is full of fun and adventure and amazing things, like for example, when you get a new job and you love your job and it's in a new part of LA and you're like, oh yeah, and you're enjoying it, you're listening to good music and you're driving around your car and you're meeting new people, you're seeing new things, you're eating in new restaurants, or you start dating a new person and you're like, oh man, and every week, 2 or 3 times a week, you're seeing this person and you're loving the person and you're loving the adventure and you're going to the carnival and you're going to the waterfront and you're just doing fun things. You're at the miniature golf course. No matter what amazing fun adventures you're having, during this time, your life inside your dreams is going to be extraordinarily boring. Like, you'll wake up and go, oh my God, I had a dream I was eating plain oatmeal, not even butter on the oatmeal. What the hell kind of a rip-off dream is that? I just wasted 8 hours on this crap? Should have stayed awake. Waking life is so much better than my dreams. You will have the most god-awful boring. I mean, you'll be like hanging freaking laundry on a line in your dreams when your day-to-day life is so fun and adventurous. That's how you know you're actually having fun. That's what my mom told me. That's how you know that in your life you're having so much fun. She says, for me, that's when I knew I was in love with your stepfather. I'm like, wow. They were together like 40-something years. Happy. And then she told me, when your dream life is very, very, very boring, when your waking life is boring, you get up, you brush your teeth, you have the same breakfast you have every day, you go to work and it's the same arguments, the same people, they're wearing the same clothes, and everything is frickin' boring. And the light overhead is bzz, 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 making a horrible sound. And you're just like, and you get the tension headache every day about 3:30. And then you get in traffic and you're stuck for 4 hours. And my God, why didn't you go to the mall and wait it out for 2 hours, then go home? You know, and you're bored and you're bored and you're bored and it's crap. That's when your dreams at night become super fun You're on the roller coasters. You're hopping off the cliffs and going into the ocean. You're going under the water and speaking with the dolphins. Or at least that's me. That's me. That's my favorite thing. You know, you're having the time of your frickin' life in your dream time when your daily life is day in and day out boring as hell. When you are bored to tears and you hate your life, that's when your nighttime dreams are going to really kick in. So this is another fun thing when you are lucid dreaming and your life is boring as hell and you go to sleep and your dreams are exciting as hell. And you wake up in a dream like that, that's when you could turn to the person next to you and go, hey, how are you? And you could have a real conversation in real time, and they're going to remember it. And you're going to remember it. And you could lucid dream with your friends. And this is where it gets into the out-of-body experiences too. I've had lucid dreams where I know I'm out of my body and I'm flying around New York, and I love flying around New York. Like I have angel wings and I'm flying around New York. It's super fun. That was one of my most favorite adventure dreams. But for whatever reason, I could only fly about 2 or 3 feet above the sidewalk, but I could weave in and out of the people walking and in and out of the traffic on the road. It was super, super fun. But I know someone who's probably going to listen to this, and he contacted me. He's one of the first people when I first started the show. He contacted me because he came across on Twitter. I think he came across my, during one of the hashtags I used. Usually I use Soul Tribe or Soul Family. But I don't know I don't know how he found me, to be honest, but he found me. And apparently he's one of my soulmates. He's one of my decent, good, amazing friends. I've known him for hundreds of years, minimum, if not just from heaven. We've known each other a long time. And he contacted me, but the first thing he said is, we've been dreaming together. And I'm like, saying to myself, red flag, crazy alert, maybe he's a stalker. Oh my God. You know, just my gut instinct kicked in like, oh. And then I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't just have a knee-jerk reaction. I should just talk to this guy. All right, I'll bite. Let's see if we are having dreams together or if you have been having dreams about me. Because I've had probably 20 different men over my lifetime tell me that we are dreaming together, and then they tell me the dream, and it's like, I never had that dream. I don't remember you from that dream. I've had a lot of guys say, well, I had a dream we were getting married. I'm like, oh my God, what a line. Shut up. That's not true. You know? So, yeah, no, we didn't do that in the dream. Sorry. We're not dream married or any kind of married. It's never going to happen, dude. I think most of it's just a line. But when this guy told me that, there's something inside me, like after my initial gut reaction of, maybe he's a stalker. Oh my God, I have a stalker. I'm so proud. And oh my God, maybe he's a stalker. Maybe I'm in danger. I'm stalker worthy. Ooh. But when he told me what he told me next, it blew my frickin' mind. So he said, yeah, this is going to sound weird, but I have been having these dreams repeatedly for decades in which I am traveling the world with somebody. And I've been looking for this person because they're like my adventure dream partner. We're friends. We're not anything but friends, but we're dreaming. But there's always like adventures involved, like revolving around water. And I heard your voice, and I realized in my dream it was your voice. And then I saw your picture, and I went, holy crap, that's the girl I've been dreaming about. Well, when he described the dreams to me, I realized, holy crap, he's right. We are mutual dreaming. Mutual dreaming. Now, this is where it crosses over into the out-of-body experience mixed with the lucidity, because when you're aware of it. So we have been to Thailand. In our dreams, we are jumping off these cliffs into these huge pools of turquoise blue water, and it's gorgeous. I can't swim in real life. I wouldn't do this. So I know it's just we're mutually dreaming. So lucid dreaming can become fun when you're dreaming and then you're dreaming with somebody else, and then you become aware you're dreaming with them. And then you could both call each other the next day and go, oh my God, that was the best dream ever. And we woke up inside the dream. And we dreamed together, mutual dreaming. That's incredible, right? So it has a much more practical application than just knocking down your demons and confronting your deepest fears, and the deepest fear that your biggest enemy is you, right? So I've had dreams with my ex-boyfriend that my first boyfriend, I was like 19 years old, 18. We had dreams that we were sitting at the end of a dock waiting for the whales to show up so we could talk to the whales and pet them. Like, that's just a normal thing. And I kept having this dream with him. And then one day finally he's like, yo, I love going to the docks with you. I'm like, yeah, me too. And he's like, in my dream, I'm like, yeah, when we pet the whales. And he's like, how did you know that? I thought we were mutually dreaming. And I was lucid that we were dreaming at the time. I'm like, me too. Me too. It's like such a freaky thing, because it's not like there is a dock anywhere in the world where a whale can actually swim up to it. So I think we went to heaven together, and we have a place in heaven where we're friends and we hang out, and we're friends of the dolphins and the whales, and whales are huge. They can't just swim up to a dock. They would bottom out. Their stomach would hit up against the bottom. They would like beach themselves to come so near to like a small dock, like what was it wasn't a big dock. It wasn't like a pier, like Santa Monica Pier. It was like a small dock. Like we're a little fishing boat that housed 4 people. You can't park a yacht there even, but it was just teeny tiny little dock. And I've had dreams. I had a friend named Doug for years, and we used to mutually dream together. And then I found a book called Mutual Dreaming years ago when my husband and I were first together. He bought it for me in a used occult New Age bookstore. I was like, how romantic. What a fun date. For me, because I'm a total nerd, and plus I'm like a metaphysical nerd, he took me to this bookstore called The Psychic Eye. And if you live in the Valley, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's several locations, and we would go to the Psychic Eye, and we would go to the used part, and we'd buy all the books we want from the used section. Then we'd go get a couple new books. And then we would go to North Hollywood, one of my favorite coffee houses that I showed him. I said, oh my God, I've been a featured poet here. I was a featured poet all over LA for a while. I'd just go and perform my poetry. And for some reason, people kept asking me back. So for like a year or two, was my spiel. That was what I did. And so I found this coffee house in North Hollywood. They had like 30 different games. You could go and play chess or Monopoly or Uno, whatever the hell you want. Jenga. They had games, and they had all these tables, and they had bean bags. They had all kinds of fun stuff and excellent coffee. And so we would go get all of our books at the Psychic Eye, and then we would go to the North Hollywood coffee shop. It was a coffee house. A coffee shop is like a Denny's old diner style, throwback Denny's style, like 1950s. And a coffee house is infinitely more cool because you can have your open mic nights where people are going to do poetry, or they're going to perform, sing and play the guitar, which is freaking cool as hell. You get to meet new people. In fact, I met Brad Schaefer. He was in A River Runs Through It with Brad Pitt. No, not Brad. Was Craig. God, ugh. Craig Schaefer. I met him in a coffee house in Agora Hills. Oh my God, I just gave away his secret hangout. No one recognizes him. He didn't do too many things in Hollywood, and I don't know what he's doing now, but I walked up to him and I sat down with him. and I think he read to me some of his poetry. He was working on it, and he was like, I'm a little scared. I don't want to get up and do open mic night, but I might. Like, just do it, man. I've been a featured reader for a long time. It's fun. You'll love it. And he's like, okay. And I didn't want to let on that I know he's an actor, but he's shy. A lot of actors, you guys don't know, a lot of actors are really shy, scared to death to talk to people. A lot of actors are introverts because they want to act like somebody else. It's the only way they can function in the world. Randy Quaid was another one. I worked with him on a set once. I was in a movie with him, and he was super shy. Anyway, but that was my thing. And anyway, mutual dreaming. And we bought all these books on dreaming, and that's how we got into writing the book we wrote, which is not available anywhere because it was all stolen from me from storage. Whole long story. I'll eventually write another dream book by myself, and my dearly departed husband won't help me with it anymore. But somewhere there's a copy of it. I still might be able to get a copy. I think I know one person might have a copy of it, but because he used this book to get his bachelor's degree in psychology. But so he and I started mutually dreaming together, but we did it consciously, and then we tied that with lucid dreaming. So you could take lucid dreaming and all of the there's a book called Lucid Dreaming. Oh my gosh, I could almost see I can't see the name of the person who wrote it. It was Baby Blue, or maybe a little bit darker than Baby Blue, but it was in a Barnes & Noble paperback. And it was like $7 or $8. It was worth it. It was worth it, well worth it. But that's where we learned that. Am I dreaming or not? It was from a book called Lucid Dreaming. Or pinching yourself, again, just pinching yourself, or doing something weird that you wouldn't normally do while awake, start doing while you're awake. Like just maybe like touch your nose in a way that you normally wouldn't do. So in your dream, if you touch your nose, you're going to become more aware. Your mind's going to go, wait a minute. Because if you touch your nose and you feel it, then you know you're awake. You touch your nose in a dream, you're not going to feel it. And you're going to go, oh, I'm dreaming right now. So when you become consciously aware, then you can start doing more fun things like going out of the body. So while you're lucid dreaming, that can lead to astral projection and going out of the body. Because now you're aware and you're already in a more relaxed state of mind. So now we go back into that a little bit. And I might do another show on out-of-body experiences and astral projection. But basically what astral projection is when you consciously leave your body from the get-go. So you lay down and you very much relax, from the toes all the way to the top of your head, and then you try to leave out your crown chakra, or now your 8th chakra. And then you can go fly around. And as you're flying around, wherever the hell you want to go, you could go to the Orion galaxy, go visit me in my other incarnation that I'm currently living. Go to the Andromedans. They're super fun and interesting. Very sweet, peace-loving people. Or you could go to the moon. And you could mutually lucid dream while astral projected with another person. Even though you're astral projected, it feels like a lucid dream because you're aware you're dreaming, you're aware you're not in your body. You can look back behind you and you see a silver cord from your stomach, from your navel, that is connected to your navel in your physical body. If you turn around, look around, and you see that there's a silver cord, don't break it, don't do anything. And if you tug on it, boom, you're going to slam right back into that body. Boom. Just like that fast. And have you ever been jolted awake? You're asleep and all of a sudden, oh, wow, when you sit up like PTSD, like you have post-traumatic stress disorder, you're looking around like, what the hell was that? What happened? That's because you were out of your body, traveling around, something tugged on your cord. Might have been your sweetheart rolling over and putting his hand or her hand on your navel, on your belly button, and that can pull you right back in. But it's better to only go through your crown chakra or higher. You can go through your third eye. Don't recommend it. And there was, and I have mentioned this before, there was a story there's a story I read by, oh my God, I want to say Robert Peralta, but I can't remember if that was his name or not. He wrote a book about his spiritual experiences going to Egypt. And during, one night during the groups were all together eating dinner, and this woman was bragging about how she, since she was a little girl, has been traveling outside her body through her stomach, through her navel chakra. And because you go through your energy center, so go through your crown chakra, right? Because that's safe, because you could get back faster, easier, right? But she would go through the navel. That's what she learned when she was very little, when she's still dealing with her first 3 chakras, because little babies, they are only dealing with those chakras in the beginning. Most men, grown men, reach the age of 40 before their kundalini rises on average. Some men that meditate, that'll happen earlier. Some men that were more stubborn or not spiritually inclined, it'll happen later, if at all. But, by the way, just random fact. But she learned how to do that, and all the people at the table said, don't. Oh my God, don't do that. Don't do that anymore. Please don't do that anymore. And because you can die. Go through your crown. Learn how to go through your crown chakra, out the top of your head. Or just don't do it at all. So that night, guess what she did? She went out her navel and she died. She couldn't get back in her body. And I don't know if it was the suggestions of the people or if they had warned her and she didn't heed the warning. I don't know what happened, but there was a psychic medium there and talked to her spirit, and that's what happened. She said, I left my body and then I couldn't get back in. I couldn't figure it out suddenly. And they're like, yeah, you have to go out your crown. That's where your spiritual knowledge is. It's in your crown chakra. And she died. She couldn't get back in her body in time, and that was it. If your soul's stuck outside your body, you can't get back in. It's like, oh well. And I think her cord somehow got severed or snapped. Now, normally through a normal going out of your body, it's not going to snap. It's not going to sever. It's very, very, very hard. It's almost impossible. But another thing that my good friend Peter brought up to me tonight is that when he goes online to learn how to astral project or out-of-body experience, be an out-of-body experiencer, a lot of people are going, well, you don't do that. It's dangerous. People can jump into your body. Disembodied spirits, demons, you name it. Jinn, they could jump in your body, take control of your body, and you're kicked out. You can't get back in. That's true. That can happen. How do you prevent it? You ask your holy guardian angel and your archangels to surround you. I always say, please protect me. Angels, surround me. God, send the angels around me. Ask God first to do it. Send the angels around me. Post angel guards at the north and the south and the east and the west and every point in between, and at the top and at the bottom, and surrounding me completely. You might want to light some incense. You don't have to, but you might want to. You could sleep with a crystal. You could surround your bedroom with really super high vibrational positive energy where demons will be afraid to tread. They hate love. They hate the energy of love and beauty and joy and peace and harmony and happiness. Play solfeggio frequency music, binaural beats, or isochronic tones that are of high vibration, and that will keep your body protected at night. You can make your own holy water, sprinkle yourself with holy water at night. So if you leave your body, you're going to be fine when you come back. You could still get incubus or succubus or spirit attachments, especially if you don't do any precautionary measures, but it's not the end of the world. You can still get rid of them. It's easy. It's pretty easy. Wake up and ask Archangel Michael to cut away any spirit attachments, any kind of negative entity, any form, life form from the astral world that just doesn't serve your purposes. Now, where do you go when you leave your body? Well, you go to usually the fourth dimension, unless you can consciously become aware through lucid dreaming, that I am dreaming, I'm out of my body, I can see my body behind me, I see this little cord, I'm gonna go on an adventure, and then you go. You could go to the 6th, 7th, 8th dimension. You could go to heaven and talk to your relatives that died. You know, ask your great granny for her apple pie recipe. Ask her what her secret was when she made her roast. You know, really, you can. You could go get family recipes. Go ask your grandpa where he buried that family treasure no one ever was able to find. Go ask your uncle where that insurance policy was that he forgot to mention when he died. We all know it was there and we all needed the money, and now it's gone. He knows. He knows where it is. Behind his old ball of whiskey. 3 feet from the left. Yeah, we all know that. I go and I astral project, and I go to, but I don't consciously astral project it, and I don't know exactly how. And there's a lot of books on how to do it, and there's a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of articles, so you guys can look it up if you have the inclination. Or you can ask your spirit guides to pull you out of your body. They will do it through your crown chakra. Maybe your third eye, but usually your crown chakra. You can ask spiritual masters. Paramahansa Yogananda will come and pull you out of your body. My grandma Marion, she's pulled me out of my body because I can't get out of my body. I get excited, it's happening, and then I freak out happily, or I panic because, oh my God, I don't want to be out of my body, and I freak out and I just snap right back in. Boom, slam back in. But spiritual guides can take you, and your masters can take you. Your holy guardian angel can take you and take you to heaven. So you could go, hang out, mix it up with your family and friends, or, Michael Jackson's probably giving a concert tonight. You could go listen to people who give concerts. Robin Williams, he performs still. All the poets, Keating, Yeats, they're all up there. They're writing new material right now, and you could go visit them. So, astral projection, is it worth it? Yeah. If you could do it without slamming back in your body like I do, yeah. So you could have a normal dream inside your head and become lucid, and you're still inside your body. Mutual dreaming. Sometimes it feels like you're mutual dreaming. You ask the person, they don't have memory of it. Then you weren't astral projected and lucid. If you're astral projected and lucid, that's when you're doing mutual dreaming, basically. Out-of-body experience is the same thing as astral projection. It's just another way of saying the same thing. So to answer my friend's question, he said, what's the difference between lucid dreaming and out-of-body experiences? What is that? What's the difference? Well, that's what the difference is. Lucid is when you're awake during a dream and you realize you're dreaming. Out of body is when you're out of your body. But you could do lucid dreaming while you're still in your body. But it's all kind of related. And mutual dreaming is by far my most favorite thing to do. I love going to heaven and hanging out with my people. But my God, the out of body, lucid dreaming, mutual dreaming, I've done with my friend Philip. My God, we've had some fun adventures. We've been in Alaska in canoes, rowing through the fjords. I think we've been in the fjords, Norway, Sweden. We've been up there in canoes. We are like extreme adventure travelers, things that I can't do physically here on Earth in my body. But I do it out of my body, and I mutually dream with him. And we sleep in a white van for some reason. We're like camping all the time, extreme camping and extreme sports. And we're always doing that together, mutually dreaming, lucid dreaming. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this discussion on the various types of dreaming that you can do. And I'll be back tomorrow with all new and unique programming, like I do every single day, 7 days a week. So please, 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 this is my only job, is to do this podcast. I made $4 yesterday, so I wanted to say thank you guys for putting more information about my show out there. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful that you guys have started to share with your Facebook groups and your huge mailing lists and your Instagram people. Thank you so much. I am actually starting to see a difference. I literally made $4 yesterday. That's 1 penny per person. I'm making like 1.7 cents per person right now. So just wanted to say thank you. You have listened to me, and I'm grateful. I had a new person, Jeff, just added me on YouTube. Thank you, Jeff. I've had a lot of people favoriting my Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast Facebook page. Thank you guys so much for all the activity and writing to me. I'm grateful for all of that. Anyway, I'm done talking right now. I am done talking right now. I will come back tomorrow, but for now, I'm signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the Holy Fifth Dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Hi guys, I know that it's summertime, it's August, I was born in August, and I know this is a hot, hot month, especially if you're in the United States, and now we've sent the hotness over to Europe. So if you are enjoying the summer heat, but you're not enjoying what it's doing to your skin, I may have a solution for you. CTFO, known for its high-quality CBD oil hemp products. CTFO stands for Change the Future Outcome. Of course, this is changing the future outcome of your skin, your life, and, well, maybe your pocketbook if you decide to join the business for absolutely free. And the link is provided for the products and the business right in this show's description. I just wanted to let you know real quick that CTFO has a brand new full spectrum CBD oil, hemp oil infused SPF 30 sunscreen. So this looks amazing. This is really going to help you out with those fine lines, dark spots, and skin aging that normally would occur if you did not use any protection at all. As you know, CBD oil does help against free radicals. It helps get rid of wrinkles. It reverses skin conditions such as ruddiness, breakouts, and also inflammation in the skin. So this is a gentle, sheer formula enriched with antioxidants, and it protects all skin types as well as being water resistant. We also have a new After Sun skincare cream filled with vitamin D, and as you know, your skin would love to absorb the vitamin D, not just from the sun, but also from the cream after you're out of the sun. Remember, we talked about a couple weeks ago how vitamin D can help you absorb things like magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, and it goes down to the bone and it makes you so healthy. Vitamin D is excellent. And here it's this cream, this After Sun skincare cream has loads of vitamin D. So if you want to check it out, yeah, if you don't want to, that's cool. If you want to check it out, there is a link in this show's description. Just wanted to let you guys know.